Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I wanted us to look at today the idea that life itself is the ultimate spiritual practice. I think that there's a lot of different pathways in life that try to say you should be doing this or you should be doing that or this or that. And it can range in anything from your own spiritual practices or how you move around your days or what you eat or drink or not eat or drink or what you do or how you spend your time. And the truth of the matter is, it's just you at the center of your spiritual journey. And, that can feel alone at times, but if you just keep your eye open, you see that you're always being guided and directed. You're always being shown the way forward and into more of yourself. And sometimes that comes through hardship and challenge and difficulty, because it would be the only way that God or the divine can offer you the highest opportunity to facilitate and to continue your becoming. And so I think the truly awakened person is the one who can see that all things are additives along the path to awakening and self-mastery, that everything that comes in our lives and into our field of awareness has the ability to sharpen who we are and to help us transform into more. And so when you can see it like that, you don't run from challenge, you don't hide from difficulty, and this is coming from me who lost my mom. Obviously, would it have been what I would have chosen? Never, absolutely not. In fact, prior to her death, if there was one thing, if anybody ever asked me what I was afraid of, I would say I don't feel fear, which I still say, which is the complete answer at this point, because the caveat would have been losing my mom, that she was just such an integral part of my life that it would be the one thing that I would, never want to have to endure. And here I am 6 years-ish on the other side of her loss, and at a place where I can understand it. I feel like it was even a part of her in my contract to undergo the teachings of letting go and learning how to let love transform spiritually into the non-physical. And what a beautiful teaching that has been. Painful, difficult, absolutely. I still have my moments, but I get it now, and so that's the thing, is that yes, we come up against things that we don't want to go through, and it's hard and it doesn't make sense. And it seems like there's no way out, and everything's, we have seasons where it feels like everything's collapsing in on us. And we also have seasons where everything's blooming and everything just makes sense and everything is finally lined up and all the dots have connected and you feel like you're just in the peak of who you are. And both are necessary. Life is always providing you with what you need to facilitate your growth and your evolution, to make sure you know who you are, to awaken your gifts. It is oftentimes, in my client work, I see how often it is that it is through the kind of dark nights of the soul, so to speak, that the gifts really come online. It's such a common theme on the awakening journey. So the spiritual practice then is to learn how to master the art of just being yourself in all of it, receiving life as it comes, taking life head on. And the other piece I see sometimes is how people get so defined by what has happened to them, the difficulties, the challenges, the hardships. We all go through it. Some have more difficult things happen potentially than others. I mean, more is sort of relative, but I think that if you let that define you, and if you let that decide for you how you're going to move in the future in a way that is just trying to prevent something from happening again, then you're not really living. I see too many people talking about, when I talk about love on Twitter, and I see so many people say, I'll never love like this again, or I'll never X, Y, and Z again, because obviously they've been hurt. How could you let a hurt keep you from loving again, when love is like the ultimate life experience, when love is the ultimate reminder of who you are, the ultimate awakener, the ultimate alchemy, the ultimate transformer? Love is like the center. Love is the highest vibrational experience possible for a reason, because it's reminding us how high we can vibrate, and that there is even more than that. So how could you give someone the power to take that from you, the possibility of that, the continuation of that in another form, just because they did you wrong, or they did you dirty, or they hurt you, or they lied to you, or whatever story, whatever part of the story is holding you back from the more. And that comes in many forms. Again, the key is to not be defined, to not let the fear of a hardship happening again stand in the way of us just experiencing the ultimate life experience, the ultimate joy, the ultimate love, the highest pinnacle experience of being ourselves. And so I invite you to soften like any fear you have around what could happen, right? The worrying, the concerning, like the looking into the like worst case scenarioing, like you really have to trust your life. You really have to know that you are, while it is you in the center of your spiritual path, you have a billion people surrounding you on this planet right now. And in the spaces between the 8 billion people is the highest of all angels and the highest vibrational energetics that are always inviting you into more of yourself. And so to master who you are and to take everything as a stepping stone into more is really the ultimate life experience. You know, to me, whenever I think of like, anytime I feel any like worry at all, I just come back to like, I know that my mission is to maximize my gifts, to use every single aspect of all the things that I have, so that the day that I come to the pearly gates, so to speak, I can just say I used it all. I used everything. I put everything on the table. I sharpened myself to the absolute supreme version of myself, so that I can live out this in the most immaculate way possible. And I think if we focus more on that and less on like the circus and the matrix and what the clown world is doing and what the celebrities are doing, like, well, it's important to shed light on the falsehood and the inversion. We mustn't stay there, right? We don't want to give that too much energy, because it already has all the energy. It's already siphoning all the energy. The inversion, the matrix is already siphoning all of the energy. And so we can be aware of that and remain present with the fact that that's happening, shed light on it as necessary. But the true energetics of just the push forward into the divine timeline is what's going to push us forward into the divine timeline. So I would invite you to give more energy to you on your own divine timeline than you do into the clown world or what the celebrities are doing or who's dating what or whatever, whoever, whatever, however. None of that is going to benefit you unless you're just using it to, like, say, for example, there are certain celebrities that I look to that I'm like, their energetic blueprint is like masterful. They've gotten really skillful in being their just like very much fullest vibrational self. And so sometimes I'll look to that just as kind of like an energetic archetype, and then feel that experience within myself to kind of download those codes, so to speak. In fact, one person I do that with, not going to lie, is Donald Trump, because he to me is a master alchemist. He's a master alchemist. However you feel about him doesn't matter. That's what makes him the master alchemist, because he's using all of the energy that's just being spewed to him, whether it's just like the utter hate that he gets or the absolute people thinking he's the chosen one. Like, he has the full spectrum, and he's just like bigger and more magnanimous, it seems, every time you see him, just more in his power. Like, and again, whatever, he's his own self. And that's the thing, is you can see every person playing their role, whether you agree with them or whether that's your guy or whatever. You don't have to like them to like recognize the role that they play. And if you don't like them, or if you're triggered by them, that's your stuff. Really and truly. That's, again, it's not to say that you're going to like everybody and you're not going to have some kind of like distaste towards certain people, or you don't respect how they move or respect how they do what they do. That's fine. That's not a trigger. To be actually triggered by someone where you watch them on the news every night just to like throw popcorn at them, that's your stuff, bro. That's for you to look at. So yes, we can use all the characters on the world stage to sharpen who we are and to download the codes of power and whatever else they might have. But then set it aside and go back to your path. Commit to your path, commit to your gifts, commit to your own awakening, commit to being misunderstood and underestimated. Because when you are on your path, when you are really down for your own awakening, you are absolutely going to be misunderstood, and you're absolutely going to be underestimated, as a way of understanding yourself and properly estimating yourself. Everything is giving you back to yourself. So you can be mad at it, you can attack the mirror, or you can just be like, boom, mirror, mirror, I see this, right? You can use togetherness to transform even more. You can invite other people into themselves, and therefore the connection and the, infinite relational energetics that we have with one another all the time and forever. It's all a mirror. It is all a mirror. It is all a possibility to become more of who you are. Even in the very bottom of the barrel, even in the very depths of your dark night soul, do you meet the precipice of who you are? Do you meet in the moments where you have no other option but to just give it up to God and just pray? That's when you learn the power of God and the power of prayer. Nothing is ever failing you. Nothing is ever steering you wrong except your own ego. That's the crazy part. And that's why there's so much accountability that comes with the path, because you have to be willing to realize, like, yeah, a lot of this, a lot of my suffering, a lot of my pain, a lot of my stress, a lot of what I'm carrying is because of me. I'm doing that. I'm the one carrying it. I'm the one stressing myself out. I'm the one who has not mastered my mind enough to claim everything as a tool versus something that's trying to attack me or be used against me, a tool versus a weapon being used against me. It's all your perspective. It's all how much you're willing to see yourself. It's all how much you're willing to let moreness in, let yourself be as grand, as great as possible, no matter who has anything to say about it. Use those Donald Trump codes to alchemize all of the energy sent to you to vibrate higher, to transform even the people who are sending negative energy to you. You're offering them an opportunity to rise for their own journey. Like that's skillful right there. That's like bending energy. That's like working all of it to your benefit so that you can be even a bigger benefit, a net positive energetically, vibrationally, and spiritually to the world around you. So no matter where you are in your path, in your life, I think there's many of us who feel like we're kind of in this holding pattern, because it's like we can sense that there's a major shift happening spiritually on the earth plane. And with those of us who are like ready to kind of take over, if you will, but we're not quite in those, like in our, like sat in the throne just yet of what that means. This season is valuable too, right? It's like, we know what's coming. We absolutely have no doubt that there's a shift happening, that some things are shifting away and some things are awakening, and we're in the mix of that, and we're still like shedding the things that can't come with us, and we're still learning how to be more of ourselves and maintain and hold ourselves down no matter what environment is present. So you sharpen with every day, with everything that you do, and let that be your spiritual practice. Again, you want to meditate? Amazing. Obviously, I'm a huge advocate for meditation. I personally don't really think you can reach the full upper echelons of yourself without meditation, because it's the practice of going within yourself. And there's a whole nother world within yourself happening parallel to the outer reality. And if you don't even know what that means, or if you're afraid of what's within you, you really got to go, right? You have to go within yourself to really merge the 3D and the 5D reality that are here, and then embody yourself as the bridge between the two. So I think that's the work right now. I invite you into that work. I invite you to step up even more on your journey, on your path, on your willingness. A lot of this work is done that does not get clapped for. There is very little like immediate reward for doing the work and for perfecting yourself, but God sees it and you know it. So that when you do meet up against the people who challenge you or have something to say about it, you can always lean back on, no, I've done the work, and there's nothing you can say to me that's going to make me feel bad about myself or question like who I am, because I know who I am. And I've excavated the ways that I am not myself to ensure that who I am is the fullest one. So of course you're mad about it, because I'm catalyzing you into more of yourself. I'm using all my gifts. I'm squeezing the juice out of my power, out of my energetic blueprint to vibrate higher and to offer the world an opportunity to vibrate higher. That's what we're looking for right now. That's the shift. That's the timeline shift, is a higher vibrational timeline. And as long as enough of us get up there, the world will have no choice but to join us. So get up there and do that, and stand on your ground right now, really heavy. Use all of it to perfect and understand and master who you are. And don't let anything define you that is not a proper definition of who you are. Nothing, not your experiences, not part of your story, not what you've been through, not you came from the mud. Like, make sure it's all helping you and not something that you're using to be a victim to, because it is all helping you. So to be a victim to something is your choice. And we don't want to do that anymore. No victim nation here. We're vibrating higher. We're taking over the world, and there is nothing they can do about it. So I'm going to leave us there. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next week.